So, Saudi Aramco is now the most valuable company in the world. Is that right?
Yes,
And your involvement is that you're on the board of it.
yes.
And do you see energy prices or oil prices coming down any time in the near future, or you think they're going to be over $100 a barrel for quite some time?
Look, commodity markets, as you must know, well know in your storied career, David, impossible to give you an answer other than, the most important dynamic of them all is climate change and CO2 emissions, and how can we make oil and gas, and for that matter, coal before, but I think coal is destined to be phased out. But oil and gas and our addiction to it and the transition that is needed to get CO2 out of the air will eventually dampen demand. EVs, which I'm sure we'll talk about soon, EVs alone, electrification of the transportation market, will see a dampening of demand, but it's impossible to predict in a short term. How do you predict a war? Russia-Ukraine and the effect that it had on commodity prices. So we will go through periods, a zigzagged line, if you like, of pricing for some years to come. And I can't tell you whether it's going to be high or low. No one can.
But Saudi Arabia, which has an enormous amount of oil, seems to be interested in finding ways to do things that are not related to oil, and electric vehicles is one of them, I guess. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, diversification. The Vision 2030 that was put in place, and you're quite familiar with, by His Highness the Crown Prince, has as a big piece of it to diversify away from oil and to go into other businesses and other activities that might be related, so chemicals and plastics and downstream, creating a circular carbon economy, hydrogen, and going to the green economy, solar, renewables as general, wind, nuclear power. This diversification on the energy mix is a big part of the Vision 2030 plan. And that's what Aramco and others in the kingdom are driving.